Hi, I'm Nick and this is the TbT channel. I would like to say, first of all, hello to anybody who hasn't seen this channel before. Watch the video. I hope you find it useful. There will be a link below to subscribe to the channel where you will find an awful lot of shooting related content. And to everybody else, hello again. This is going to be the HW77 master video. The master video, right? And the reason for this, I'm revamping the website. We need to update a lot of things. The photos are all of the old kits, not the new F1 kits. A lot of the descriptions are wrong, and we've obviously, as you know, over the last 6 months been making a lot of videos to help with people stripping their guns. So rather than having a gazillion links across the website, we're just going to have this master video with a brief synopsis of what we do, what's available, and then in the description of this video that you're watching now, if you go down to the description, you'll find a link to the 3 different stripped down tuning rebuild videos and other things besides. So this is the video that will be on the website. There we go, that's that. Now, TbT. I'm Nick, by the way, for those who haven't watched this. I'm Nick. I started TbT 11 years ago this month. It is April 2025 as I make this. 11 years ago this month, and we now make lots and lots of these and send them all around the world. The chances are, if you've got an air rifle, you've gone on Google, we've come up, that's why you're watching this. So today we're going to look at the HW97 and how we relate to it and what we have available. Now, the kit itself, first of all, a TbT kit. What is a TbT kit? When you get your gun, when you take it apart, first of all, you'll notice it's full of grease. That needs to come out, okay? Regardless of anything else you do, that needs to come out, and you need to relube it properly. But you'll probably notice, and the reason you're probably watching this video is that your gun will be going after you fire it. A TbT kit, put in its most basic terms, will stop that from happening. So what we have is we make our own springs, or have our own springs made. Now, these are made in the UK from top quality silicon steel. They are twice compressed before you get it, so it's at its working length when you receive it. It's not going to compress and become smaller and weaker as you use it. This is the working length. And inside of the spring you have a fitted top hat which sits down the bottom of your piston, and a rear guide which sits in the back of the spring like that. And basically what that does is that instead of the spring bouncing around off of the inside of the piston, it controls the spring and it runs off the central latch rod running through the piston. In essence, that's what we have here, but with a better quality spring. And since my motorbike accident last year, the new F1 kits, these ones here, are made by the British motorsport industry, from a material even I don't really know the full details of it. And that's it. We have 3 different kits available to you. We have the Maxi kit in 2 different flavors, and what a Maxi kit comprises of, first of all, the box. You will find inside instructions, but there are also 3 videos linked below showing you how to strip down your gun, how to clean your gun, polish it, fit a kit, relube it and rebuild it. Check those. You've got instructions here. There is also an 0800 number on the box, on the website, and in the instructions. That comes through to me. If you have any questions while you're fitting it, you just pick up the phone and ring me. If you're in a different time zone, or it's the weekend or the evening, email me, preferably with a phone number or a form of contact, and I'll call you back. So we have instructions. We have a TbT sticker to put on your gun. One of the very first things I learned 11 years ago was that people were so proud of what they'd achieved with a TbT kit. They wanted something to put on the gun because people at the club say, well, who did that? And they like say, I did. But they wanted something to put on their gun. That's why we got the sticker. Love that bit. You will find a small sachet, and inside of here we have got 3 washers and a little, I'm not going to take a little bag of grease out, and a little bag of grease. Okay, that is standard gun grease, can be used for a standard kit if you want. We also do a product called Bum Slide, our high moly paste, which is available with some kits or as an optional extra with the Maxi kit. So we have 3 washers. Your slip washer goes in the piston first ahead of the top hat. That's for the top hat to slip on, because a spring coils and compresses and decompresses. It also twists, so that allows the spring to twist freely on that surface. A spring, a rear guide. When you receive it, it will look like that. The rear guide's there and the flange is here. You take clockwise twist. If the guide's tight, clockwise twist. Once it's moving, it pulls free. You get your rear guide and you get your flange. The flange has a step, it has a recess. The guide goes through the hole so that the collar on the rear guide sits in the recess of the flange there, like that, making it effectively just a 2-piece guide, just to give it a small amount of movement so that it doesn't break if your latch rod is not true. That goes back into there and that's it. We do 2 different power levels for the Maxi kit. This one is the UK kit. It is designed to run at under 12 foot-pounds. By that, I don't mean it's going to do 11.9 foot-pounds. Nobody wants 11.9 foot-pounds. The ideal for a spring-powered rifle is somewhere between 10 and 11 usually. I aim for 10.5 in all of my guns. So this will get you around about that, some higher, some lower. If you find it's too low, you will see that you have 2 of these preload washers with a 14.5mm bore. Each one of these will add approximately, on average, half a foot-pound. It goes onto the rear guide like that, and then the rear guide goes back into the spring like that. There are 2 of them. If you get a UK kit and in the unlikely event it's overpowered, we may need to reduce the spring a bit. There'll be a separate video on that. Keep an eye in the links down below. So we have the UK power kit, which is designed for under 12 foot-pounds. And then we have the export kit, which instead of a 31 coil spring comes with a 34 coil spring. Okay, and this one is exactly the same. It works in the same manner, but this one will more than likely give you over 12 foot-pounds. Now the HW77 is a 15 foot-pound / 20 joule rifle. That is the maximum you can get from it. You can try and get more by overspringing it, but that will make it nasty to shoot. It'll recoil and it won't be very good. You won't hit much with it. So use the gun within its designed parameters, which is what this spring will do. It will take it up to its design maximum. That doesn't mean every single gun's going to get 15 foot-pounds, especially if it's a 177. It will be lower than that. Sometimes in a 2.2 it will be higher than that, but it's approximate. But with the full spring, you can't add any of our preload washers to the full spring, even though they're in the box, because then it will become coil bound and the gun won't cock. That is the maximum spring that will fit in the piston. So why do I put power washers in a kit where it's not going to fit with the spring initially? The simple reason for that is all of our kits come with preload washers, and what they're there for is usually if a gun is too powerful and you reduce the spring down to power and you go just too far, this allows you to bring it back up. Also, with the HW77s in particular and the HW97s, just the very first ones, some of them had a 25mm piston. Now, the serial numbers beginning 1446 and below, so lower numbers than that, had a 25mm piston. After that, they went to a 26mm. If you have a 25mm piston, you will see on the website that I recommend that you get the export power kit with the larger spring. That's because you have less air to play with, and where this one will generally land a gun between 10 and 11 foot-pounds with a 26mm piston, with a 25 it's more likely to be between 9 and 10. So by using this one, although it may start off over 12, you can reduce the spring to the power you want, and a spring that's been reduced to 11 foot-pounds will always shoot with easier cocking and less piston bounce than a smaller spring that's been bulked up to 11 foot-pounds. The third kit that is available is called the Maxi Pro kit, and it is specifically for the 26mm gun. So we are back to this 31 coil spring here, and you get the standard Maxi kit with all the washers, the grease and things like that, with the addition of some of our bum slide high moly paste and a short stroke extension. What this does, you take the seal off the front of your piston, put this on in its place, and then put the seal onto the front of there, and it reduces the amount of air pushed out of the gun to roughly the same as the older 25mm piston. This kit is designed for, and the best kit for, sub 12 foot-pounds. If you want full power, if you want over 12 foot-pounds, you need the Maxi export kit. The Maxi Pro kit is only for the 26mm piston gun, and it makes it shoot like the older 25mm gun. And that is it. The HW97/77, as I'll put a link to the should you buy comparison videos as well. It is probably my favorite of the underlever rifles. It's that versus the TX200 or Pro Sport. It's a question of personal choice. I find my 97 fits me and suits me better than a TX200. Other people find a TX200 suits them better than the 97. That is personal choice, but this is what you can buy from us for your HW97. Every link that you need will be included down below. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, hit notifications, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.